Welcome to today's edition of Citizens Dialogue, where top stories making headlines in the society will be discussed. First, we'll bring you the headlines. Top opposition figures meet to discuss electoral law. In another report, Rivers Governor Fubara expresses willingness to work with Assembly. In a major twist, payment dispute, woman appeals to Umahi over alleged death. We'll go on a short break now. Stay with us. To help us break down these headlines is a political analyst, Kings Ojalo, and I am your moderator, Cassie Tony. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Cassie. As always, it's always my pleasure being here.
Happy weekend.
We should say Friday, of course.
Yeah, Friday is weekend. It's when the weekend starts. So, what's your arrangement? What's your plan for the weekend?
Not much plan, but hoping to see a positive change in our political affairs concerning the new reform.
All right, talking about positive change and the new reform, there was a meeting held in Abuja on Thursday with top opposition leaders. We're talking about the likes of Atiku, the former president, and one-time 2023 presidential candidate, that's Peter Obi, and then Amechi, and we also have David Mark Kaladima and many others in attendance in this meeting. You know, they issued a statement, and this statement was actually signed by NNPP chairman Kaladima, that they do not want the electoral law. Their reason is that they are accusing the APC of dictatorship, insisting that Nigeria has over 95.2G coverage and that the law undermines electoral transparency. You could recall that this electoral law was signed by the president on February 18. Now the Senate are pushing back, calling for another amendment as being recorded. You know, Ojalo, are we heading for a long political battle over the rules of the next general election? And can the opposition succeed in this battle?
Well, looking at the meeting that was held in Trascorp Hilton, in Abuja yesterday, I think it was a collective move from all oppositions, that is the APC oppositions. We're talking about the NNPP, ADC, and also other minor coalitions in Nigeria, to be able to make sure that the Electoral Act that was passed into law is looked into, you understand. But unfortunately, the Senate has debunked it. That is most especially from Yemi Adaremodu, who rejected the call for fresh amendment again, advising that opposition to allow a formal legislative channel rather than, inflammatory redirective and thereabout. You understand? That is to tell you that the Senate are fully aware, you understand, and they do not conjoin to this mandatory move from these great oppositions. Now, what were the grievances? Talking about restriction of primaries, you understand, electoral reform, just as I have mentioned, and also some other state, like reducing timeline. Okay, recall they readjusted the timetable of election coming 2027, and also they also talked about the judiciary reform. Now, I think among all of this, it is that judiciary reform I want to really go into. If you could recall, I told you that our judiciary system is nothing to write home about now in Nigeria, because if our judiciary system is active, and these coalitions don't need to formally organize this conference meeting in order to try to antagonize the great ruling party, the judiciary would have taken it into their hands and be able to look into this matter and make their final decisions, and make sure that the senators are aware that, look, we are the judiciary, we are above every other institution that surrounds the affair of the country. But unfortunately, what do we have? It seems the decision is playing alongside with the ruling party, and that is why we are having this menace. You understand? Initially, the manual means of transmitting an electoral result was probably for areas that had network issues. But now they fully passed it into law that it is mandated and it must be used, which we have the means of transmitting electoral result electronically. But now that the Senate has come out to do what? To abolish that amendment. So what are we talking about? You could see that this is a clear move on how to make sure their strategic agenda work for them, favors them coming 2027. So that is what this meeting is all about, which involve Atiku, the former vice president, the likes of Peter Obi, Rotimi Amechi, and also Beba Galadima myself. I was even surprised the NNPP chairperson was also present in that occasion and really stated so many facts that look, Nigeria has to rise up. That these people that we think they are more superior were once in the streets. You understand? We're all sitting in the same table. I don't know if you understand. And he's making this gathering, this coalition, to know that look, they can be on seats. They can be. They are also human beings. They are not superior than any other. Whatever they think, probably they are in power, makes them more superior to every other individuals, every other party, or every other coalition. Is false. I really like the state. I really like the fact that Boba Galadima stated that fact. Also, the vice president also make mention of one or two things. He talked about him. He also placed himself. He also made himself guilty because he was the one alongside with the current president and also the former president, that is his former then boss, Olusegun Obasanjo, orchestrating this menace Nigeria find themselves. But he claimed that he has realized it. That is why he has to step back to join this coalition in order to make a reform so that Nigeria can gain full democracy again. But the truth is this. Atiku coming out, I think I will have to debunk Atiku's statement. Atiku coming out, this was the same method he used 2014 and also, 2014 before, because he worked against Goodluck Jonathan to make sure that Buhari wins that election. How are we sure this is not another move again that will cause another coincidence in the nearby future? So what am I trying to say is this: whatever this meeting is all about, whatever this coalition conference meeting is all about, it should be for the betterness of Nigerians. Peter Obi being involved is a good step, but at the long run, what will be the outcome? What will be the end? Are they going to give the flag bearer? I'm talking about the ADC. Are they going to give the flag? Are they going to make someone who is not capable to lead Nigeria to where Nigeria ought to be their flag bearer? That is another question we should be asking ourselves, because we know that
you mentioned that the vice president said that he feels guilty as well.
Of course.
Is he saying it from a repentant heart, or he's saying it because he wants to buy the heart of people?
That is a very good question.
Because some of them do these things.
We know that is not
when they are not really remorse.
Of course, we know that is because he sees that it doesn't favor him. He sees that his then coalition has sidelined him in one way or the other. So that is why he's making this remark. We all know what these so-called politicians. He has been in the system. The menace Nigeria find themselves. I can bet you, Atiku, the former vice president, he contributed to it. And I like the fact he stated it in that conference meeting. I really like the fact he stated it. You understand? Even Amechi too stated it. You understand? Looking at the likes of el-rufai, who is in custody now, I think it's something they also address, and it's uncalled for. This is someone who has tried to, pull out the legs of those who are maximizing democracy in democracy, and he has been kept in custody even as we speak currently. Kasi, this man is still in custody, and there was a news of him having a nosebleed, and the federal government could not show any remorse and concerns about it. So what are we talking about? These people, it looks as if they succeeded hijacking democracy into their pan. Okay, what about, look at the incident that happened in Edo State? What are you trying to say? Where is the constitution that guide your freedom of movement, that a sitting governor will have to tell a prominent politician that your security is not guaranteed when you come to a particular state, probably for rally or a visit or anything? Where is that constitution that says everyone has the freedom of movement. He's a citizen. He has the right to go anywhere he wants to go. So why should it then be attacked, or because he's trying to make a visit or install how will I say, a past member that he was with together in the Labour Party into the new coalition?
Edo State governor said he wasn't aware of his visit.
What do you expect? What do you definitely will a thief agree that he's a thief? When
Until
he's being accused,
so
that is it. So nobody will have to, bring himself out when it was when allegation is raised against him or her. So that is just the truth. So in essence of all of this is, I hope this meeting, this coalition meeting, if you could recall, I've been talking about if all great coalitions can come together and find a means of making sure they deal with this current administration that is making Nigeria's democracy be in an upside down form.
All right, just to add to what you said, if you recall, when they came to vote on the Senate floor, there were about 50 senators that actually came out to vote. Meanwhile, APC has over 73 senators, and if you want to compress it with the assembly members on red chambers, they have over 106 assembly members. Now, what happened to the rest 15? Why did they not come out to vote? We'll understand that, okay, they were absent. Because if they had actually come out to vote, they would have carried a majority. Majority would have carried the vote. Now, the ruling party has a very good structure laid out, good arrangement laid out for them. They've already laid out their plans and everything that they want to do. And now the opposition are coming out they are starting already late. They are coming out to want to object and everything. It's not possible that the Electoral Act will be changed, because the election is fast approaching, and we already have 360 days. So it's not possible for the election to be changed. And then the president actually made a statement. He said something, which the statement was actually said by his assistants, his aide, Bayo. He said that the IREF is not a polling unit, that it is a viewing center. And the president said that he said no, that Form EC8A is the primary priority. And then he also said that the Form CE8A is also important, meaning that this statement is actually contradicting. If the form is not a priority, then what are we talking about?
To show you that everything has really been laid out for a successful, for favoritism for them in coming 2027. That is just it. Just like I said earlier on, everything has totally been orchestrated. Talking about APC, candidate in the Senate, just as Boba Galadima stated, that these people have no confidence in their own platform. That was why they left. You understand? That was why they were able to be easily persuaded by the ruling party. You understand? Yeah, so when President Tinubu was talking about, I have no gun with me to shoot anybody when I be accused of trying to bring people to, high stakeholder, I'm talking about governors and thereabout, to his own party. You understand? He said he has no gun with him. That is not the cause of the
sinking ship. People living the sinking ship.
Exactly, not the cause of the sinking ship. So what am I talking about is that, let's be honest with ourselves. There has been an underground layer. There has been an underground a platform that has been the cause of all these things. Nobody will want to make the remark. Nobody will want to come out to openly, speak out how it came about, how the whole mastermization happened.
We hope the opposition members, they succeed in their teamwork. Still in the same vein of teamwork, Rivers State Governor Fubara has actually come out to say that he is willing and ready to work with the Rivers State House of Assembly. If you could recall that on the 21st of February 2026, there was council election in Ahoda East 2 and Kana. Now the governor said he's willing to work with them. So what's your line of thoughts on this?
We can also recall where there was a reconciliation move, I think on the 25th of February, the fresh peace deal that was
between
broken.
The FCT minister and
the president also ended long-standing political grief between the FCT minister and also the governor himself, the sitting governor, and also the enjoyment of the State House of Assembly agreeing of
to
suspending the impeachment for the third time. You understand? And also Fubara has come out to give readiness to cooperate with those who even orchestrated an impeachment proceedings against him. You understand? And he's ready to work with the 32 members of the House of Assembly, including the APC, which is in the same platform with them. You understand? It's a good one. It's a good one, and impeachment withdrawal from the that is the speaker, that is talking about Matis Amewele. I hope I got his name correct. The thing is that sometimes, just like Buba Galadima stated in that meeting held in Abuja, you understand, he said whatever we do, you understand, we should always do things that so that do what we expect others to do to us. You understand? And no one can escape death. You understand? He was trying to make this program, trying to make sure that the hearts of those who feel they are superior over everything should be re-amended by themselves. Now, Martin Amewele, thank you. Stated so many things. If you recall, so many statements he made during that impeachment proceeding against the governor and thereabout, trying to say, the governor did not key into some agreement that was constructed even before he gained into power, or even before the emergency ruling took place last year, when he was brought back from suspension and thereabout. Now, the State House of Assembly Speaker, has forgotten that this is a sitting governor. Yes, we know him as a speaker has rights in so many areas in the state constitution. We know that. But at least this is a sitting governor that has, that is the number one person of a particular state and has full control of a particular state economy, that you feel so remorse because you are being backed up by a prominent person, or probably because from the look of things, we've had critics saying, the reason why Speaker Martins has been making this proclamation against the governor is probably because the president is behind him. Honestly, that word is void. I think that is the first word. For the fact that President Tinubu could call Wike and the sitting governor in order to show you that probably the president himself has not been behind all those orchestrations.
Well, what if the president is trying to carry out this settlement, reconciliation, because he has a selfish agenda.
I see. Well, I don't buy into that, but it's possible. It's possible, but I don't buy it. From what I'm trying to see here is, because now looking at Fubara's action, you will definitely see he is someone who really has, like I usually say, he has the people at heart. He has Rivers State at hand. He has the mind of trying to make sure that Rivers gets all that pertains to it. I don't know if you understand. The speaker making those moves and thereabout, it shows that you just do things out of do things remorsefully.
So the governor now agreeing to work with this assembly members.
Yes, of course, is a thing of him having them at heart, neglecting their actions towards him. Because there are some individuals, or probably a governor, with all those actions and thereabout, immediately he gains back his enforcement as a governor, is to put them out. Recall when he removed some cabinet recently, you could recall. So if he choose to take some drastic action against Martins Amewele, definitely it will tell on him. So people should, most of the time, think before they display or take some certain action. There'll be a cabinet shake-up, by the secretary to the state governor, that is Dagogo, what is his name? Dagogo Wokama, who has been given the chief of staff and thereabout. So you can see how the governor still tends to work with those in cabinet despite the griefs and all of that. You understand? That is to show that Fubara is someone who is really ready to work for the betterment of the states, and those who are in cabinet should mind what they are doing, actions they take against someone who really tends to work. There are so many governors in other states without proper ambition for the state, yet How many cabinets have stood against them? Is
So
it
your final thought?
Is it Ogbebolo with his actions in Edo State? How many
Yes.
people have you had raised against
your final
his
thought
administration?
is-
My
your final
administration
thought
is that those who have been against Fubara should come together and make sure that there's a joint cooperation in order for peace to reign in Rivers State, because the so-called political crisis that we had about this state is becoming unbearable, and it should be put to an end.
Thank you so much, Ojalo. So, that notwithstanding, Fubara agreeing to work with the assembly members goes to show that he's a good leader and he's a father too. Because as a father, you will not stay angry at your children forever. At some point, you want to forgive them. That notwithstanding, there's been a video circulating online about a certain woman from Ebonyi State who has come out to say that the amiable minister, David Umahi, is owing her. And she said this. It's been a very long time. But before we dive in, let's watch this video.
David Umahi, I'm not afraid of you. Thank you, sir. God bless you. Only president we know.
Stay strong.
Yes, David Umahi, pay me my money. I'm not afraid of you. You can lie all you want. David, you must pay me my money. I supplied goods to you, directly to you. You woke me up 5 a.m. in the morning.
You should also ask
and asked me.
Goods and services.
Yes, goods and services. I brought it to your house in Abakaleke. Yes, you know me very, very well. Just because you asked to date me and I said no, you turned it upside down. Sir, you will give me my money. They said you're an honorable minister. David Umahi, there is nothing honorable about you. And you are using police to oppress me. The only police officer that has been nice to me since I came to Abuja is one Maya, Ilya, and one Mr. Ali. The rest are so wicked and mean. The one that is my IPO always call David and his PA to give them information. And you'll be asking her different questions. If I'm weak, if I'm broken, I can never be broken. Yes. David, I can never be broken. You will pay me my money. I will press your neck. Yes. You cannot lie that you've not met me. And Frank Olode is your boy. Frank and Frank Olode is your boy. In the cell where I slept last night, there are 4 men from Ebonyi State. Frank Olode brought them all the way from Ebonyi State and locked them up on the instruction of David Umahi. How long will this continue, Nigerians? This is so painful. David continue to oppress women. What did I do to David? I'm only a woman who is working so hard legally to feed her children and her family. What did I do wrong? By answering you and working for you without mobilization. David, pay me my money. I want all right-thinking men and women, God-fearing men and women all over the world to stand up for justice. Yes. David is owing me, and I need my money paid with interest because 12 years is not 12 months. Yes. God bless you all.
Welcome back. So, this video, we've all heard it from the woman's mouth. The money has been the man has been owing her for over 12 years. And I wonder, why will you stay for that long before coming out to speak? You stayed 5 years, 6 years, and you didn't say anything till 12 years. According to her, the initial amount was 25.4 million naira. Now, the money has skyrocketed to 304 million naira. And according to her, she said whenever she goes to him to request for the money, he will bring up stories of wanting to sleep with her. Why are the rich always fond of doing this? The same thing applicable to the labor market. You go out for job hunting and your employer is asking you to sleep with him before you can be given a job, or to retain, for you to sleep with them to retain your job or your contract. Why is it like that? Why are they always feeling that you must always use what you have to get what you want? Yeah. Now, what do you have to say about this, your former governor and minister?
I would like to correct you on something. When you say, why are the rich? Me, I desire to be rich, and I don't have such mind of, wanting to
but you can't
sleep with someone
out
first.
Of 100, you say 75% are like that.
Okay. I agree with that. I won't disagree that statement, I think, because it's really true. Now, looking at Umahi's action concerning this, there are a lot of things that was attached to it, apart from, the huge amount of money that he allegedly, just as she said, refused to pay her due to 1 or 2 business activities, transactions, and thereabouts. Now, first of all, there's a popular saying that says, by their fruit you shall know them. That birds of the same
feathers
they flies together. So we all know who Umahi's boss is.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't want to mention.
Let's just pretend I don't know who his boss is.
Okay, let me use the word. Let me make it straight. He's appointee. He's appointer.
Who is the person?
No, let's not go there. Now, this is not the first time an allegation, probably not similar to this, has been raised against the minister Umahi. You know, I think if you could recall, so a time in Channels TV, you know, Osoni el-rufai had a dispute, you know, where he was being interviewed concerning the Lagos Calabar coastal road. You understand? Secondly, in a Senate conference of budget allocations and thereabouts, the Honorable Senator, that is Senator Oshomole, also raised an allegation against him, where he is demanding for some billions of naira to construct, to make amendments on that same project and other coastal roads that are ongoing in the country. Some billions of naira or billions of amounts, let me put it that way. It was demanding, but there was a full proof of some expenditures that was made that was not even up to. That's what am I trying to say? He is demanding some billions, and the recent one that he did, or that was given to him, for example, he was given 60 billion. Out of that 60 billion, the amount of money that was used was probably 100 million or maybe 200 million. You understand where I'm heading to? Okay, now looking at the case of this one, why I'm taking you back to show you the number of accusations that has been raised against this. He is not the first minister of works. I think before him, the former Lagos State governor, let me remember his name, Fashola. Okay, he is not the first person who was who became the minister of works. We could recall the former Lagos State governor, Fashola was once in this, position. I can bet you, Cassie, there is no one allegation that has been raised against that man, even when he was a governor, before he was appointed as a minister in time of late Buhari. Now, the Tinubu appointed him as to become the minister of this, the minister of works, and here we go. Look at the different allegations raised against him, side, left, center. And the worst part of it, of this case, that is this woman we're talking about, Tracy Nicholas Oiri. You know, she's actually a Lagos-based businesswoman, you understand? And this, just as you said, you know, it has been on for a long period of time. That is this over 12 years, just as you made mention. And the worst part of it, the woman has been coming on social media. I have her video clips. I've watched it times without number, telling Nigerians for wanting to pay her money. Then what this minister could do was to arrest her immediately. And arresting her, she was brought to Abuja Magistrate Court, so that there will be an adjournment between her and the person she's accused of. The worst part, Umahi said
he denied her.
The woman said she almost went. I watched the video and I watched everything. You are taking an advance of someone, you are taking advancement of someone you are even owing. You understand? And there was clear video of everything. She brought out every details. The pictures that she snapped with him. We were talking about before he became the deputy governor of Ebonyi State, before going to before becoming a governor and thereabouts. We saw everything, the transaction, the slipped, the properties, because those things were used for his election rally and thereabouts. Then what is your problem? You are now a minister, whereby you are being, given huge amount of money in terms of salary, where the tax is used to pay your salary thereabout. I'm not advising him to go and start using federal allocation money to pay the woman, but at least you have what it takes.
The 300 million is a small money to him. It's
so
something that
initially it was
25.4
million. 25 before it raised to this 304 million. So how come that period, even when you became a governor, what will it have taken you to pay just 25.4 million that it rose to this amount? Let's be honest. To show you how selfish how I would like, you see, I don't want to start giving someone
You
a
know,
very bad
you
name.
mentioned that the woman showed picture clips of what the picture she has been taken with him.
Exactly.
And now she's saying that the man has been wanting to sleep with her.
And the worst
what
part,
if she has been giving him? What if she has been giving him red? Is it red light or big green
She was
light?
even accused of cyberbullying, defamation for her own money, for her own right again. Kudos to the popular human rights activist Showore, who had to intervene in this matter, or else she would have been kept in custody and wasted there. A woman, a married woman with 4 good children. What is your problem? Is it that you don't have a wife? Let's be honest. Now, we are just looking at
you know,
the case
one
of...
woman is never enough for
See,
your
we
gender.
know... See, we know... we are saying... We are pointing hands at Umahi right now. I bet you, Cassie, there are so many other high stakeholders, politicians who are in this form in our political affairs of Nigeria. And the worst part of it, they are bringing bad reputation to our political system in this country without knowing it, without being aware of it. The woman mentioned something that I will also state here. She said there is no hope for the common man in this country because for those who are at the grassroots aiming to become a politician or whatever, that there is no way for you. She made mention of the minister's son buying tickets to become the local government chairman of their local government in a boy state. Which hope does those who don't even have that means or who are not in a political affair become a politician if they desire to be? So what she was trying to say is that, look, all hope is gone for those common men, and it's true. That is where we find ourselves. Every politician in our country today are making sure that their lineage become replace them in the near future. I can count many, but few.
So it's mostly like it's a hereditary
thing.
All right, thank you so much, Ojalo. We've
Thank
come
you,
to
Cassie.
the end of the show, Citizens Dialogue. Many thanks for always joining us.
Thank
It's a
you
pleasure.
for having me as always, Cassie.
And to you, our viewers, many thanks for watching. I am Cassie Tony. It's a bye for now.